more tomatoes than what you put in the ground. That's the law of God. God built that law. He invented that law. And so when He asks you for something, He's not looking at what you have to give Him. He's looking at what your seed could produce for you. And He's saying, you know what? If they need a bunch of tomatoes, I need to figure out how to get them to put tomato seeds in the ground. So He's not asking for your tomato seeds for Him. He's asking so you'll get a tomato harvest. Amen? Amen. So He will ask you for stuff. In fact, you ought to pray and say, Lord, ask me for stuff. Have you said, ask me for stuff? Even though it's scary, it shouldn't be. Because if we understand the end result is that He's going to bless me. He's asking me for this, not because He's trying to be mean and take something from me. He's asking me for this so He can give me a harvest. So with God, everybody gets blessed. So if there's a missionary up here and they need an airplane, and you provide the airplane, well then the missionary gets blessed. But hey, the missionary isn't getting blessed near as much as you are, because you're going to reap the harvest off of that seed. Now, I told you, every preacher and their dog talks about partnership, and a lot of them don't even understand it themselves. They just figure it's a way to get your money. They don't live the life. They don't live and walk the talk. You know? I won't call them what Mark Barkley did. What did he call them? Lying, cheating, stealing preachers. I won't say that. You understand what I'm saying, dude? But they talk to you about, you need to give to me, you need to give to me, you need to give to me. And then they talk about seeds, plant seed, name seed, plant seed. And every preacher and their dog does the seed thing. Well, I think Oral Roberts, I could be wrong about this, but I think Oral was probably the first preacher ever to talk about money being seed. Amen. In 1969, he wrote a little book called Miracle of Seed Faith Changed My Life. I was a Christian already, I was a Spirit-filled Christian already been to the mission field, and now I'm drafted in the Army. I just married Jackie, and I got married, and I got drafted the same day. The same day I said I do, President Nixon heard me and said, yes, you will. On my wedding day, I got a letter from President Nixon. And he said, congratulations, your friends and neighbors have selected you, nominated you. We got this little thing going on in Southeast Asia. We got money for you, we'll pay you, we got food, we got clothes. So, all of a sudden I went from having a really good job on my own business, and Jackie was a dental technician. We both made good money. And so we had all this money, and all of a sudden we're in the military and we don't have any money. They're paying me $128 a month. I used to spend $128 a day because she and I were young 19-year-old kids. We didn't have any sense. We didn't know how to spend money, save money. We just knew how to spend it. And I made lots of it, so we just spent lots of it. And we didn't ever buy groceries in advance. We just said, oh, I'm hungry. What do you want for dinner tonight? You want to run by a steak and cook it, or you want to go out and eat? Let's go out and eat. Or let's run down to the market and buy a steak and come back and cook it. But we didn't think in advance. And so when we're in the Army now, Jackie's got to buy $128 a month, minus our tithe. They took that out first and sent home. She's got to spend money to last for a whole month at the PX. Well, she didn't know how to make $128 last for a month. She didn't know how hard to make it last for 2 or 3 days. And so we had a hard time, man. Our month would just keep going long after our money had run out. But her grandmother gave me a book. She said, Terry, Oral Roberts just wrote a new book. I think you'd like it. I said, gimme. And she handed it to me. It's called The Miracle of Seed Faith. It changed my life. Because Oral said no farmer plants for fun. He plants for profit. I never heard that before. My mama told me, and my pastor told me, don't you ever believe anything back from God. You give your tithe and you give your offering. Don't you dare expect anything from God. Don't put any pressure on God. So I never did. I just put my tithe in faithfully, put my offering in faithfully, never thought anything about it. Bucket comes down the aisle, and I put my stuff in, never thought about it again. But Oral said, don't do that. Yes. He said, you don't give an offering, or you don't pay your tithe without praying over it, and calling it a seed, and expecting it to produce just like any normal farmer would. Amen. Farmers know when they put seed in the ground, it's going to produce. He said it's such a law that a farmer can go to the banker and tell the banker, hey, banker, I got a farm, and I've got this many acres, and I need to borrow enough money to put for this much seed. And if I put this much seed in this many acres, it'll produce this much harvest. And the banker will look at it and say, you're exactly right. If you put that much seed in that much acres, it'll produce that much harvest. And they'll no money on it because they know it's a law.
Very good.
And Oral's the first one I ever heard anybody say something like that. And he said, you pray over it, and you put it in the ground. And then he said 3 principles. He said, number 1, you realize God's your source. Man, He owns everything. He owns the blood in your body, the air in your lungs. He owns your wife, your kids, your dog. He owns everything. He is your source.
That's right.
And I didn't have any problem believing that. I said, yeah, I got that. God's my source. But then he said, you give first.
Plant a seed.
You give first. He said, most Christians are good-hearted. And Pastor stands up and said, we want to support a missionary. We want to buy a car. We want to send a missionary. We want to build a parking lot, or we want to do something, build a new Sunday school room. He said, most Christians are good-hearted. And they said, oh, I want to help Pastor. I want to help Oral Roberts. I want to help T.L. Osborne. I want to help, Brother Hayden, Brother Cole. I want to help these people. So, God, you give me something, and I'll get it. But Oral said, God says, it doesn't work that way. You give first. No farmer goes out and harvests a field where he's never planted. He has to plant first.
Very good.
And he said, so you give to God first, and God will take what you give, and He'll multiply it and give it back to you. And then you can give to Him. But he said, if you give God 0 and He takes it and multiplies it 100-fold, gives it back to you, it's not going to pay the rent.
Wow.
And he said in number 3, and this is powerful, you expect a miracle.
Expect a miracle.
You expect a miracle. And he said, and you expect it from unexpected sources. See, most folks look at their job, they think that's a source, and they look to that for their source. That's not your source. That's your job. You get paid for an honest day's wage for an honest day's work. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But he said, you look beyond. You look for unexpected sources. And I tell you, Ken, I started doing that. I was in the Army, but I started looking for money. Who's got my money? There's a dog. Has he got money in his mouth? Who's got my money? Where's my money? I just started inspecting everywhere. And all of a sudden, God blessed us because we bring this truth. But see, you need partners. Moses, I was going to tell you this story a while ago. Let me get back to that. When I was youth leader, I went into youth service one night, and the place was full, parking lot was full. And as I walked in, there's a pastor's car. Some of those pastors come to the youth group. And so I said, oh, the pastor's here tonight. And so I walked past the pastor's car on the passenger side, and as I did, I looked at the tires, and they were both bald, man. I mean, slick. Now in West Texas, we call those maypops, because they may pop. It's not a joke. We really did. That's a common term, maypops. And you never want to sit on the fender of a car that had maypops, because it might propel you into orbit should they pop. And I looked at those, and I thought, man, that's not good. So I went around the other side, the driver's side, and I looked at those 2 tires, and they were slick. They were maypops. And I walked into the service with Gene. We started the service and had music and then announcements. And then I stood up as youth leader. I stood up to preach. But before I preached, Angel, I said, kids, I'm embarrassed from our parents. Our parents have embarrassed me. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. I said, I just walked past Pastor's car, and he's got 4 maypops. And they all know what that was. And I said, our parents are the deacons and elders in this church. What's wrong with them? What's wrong with my mom and daddy? What's wrong with your mom and daddy? How come our pastor has dangerous tires that could kill him or kill somebody else? You know, a few years ago, a dear friend of mine and Renee's, I don't know up here in this part of the country you know them, but Terry and Jan Whitley, you Rainbow people know who Terry and Jan are. Yeah. Terry and Jan were partners of ours, and they pastored a church in Killeen, Texas. Well, they had been in Bulgaria preaching, doing some missions, and they flew back into Austin, Texas, where the closest airport was to their town. And so their associate took the church van and came and picked them up. But there's a bypass around Austin that goes to the airport, and the legal speed limit is 85 miles an hour. And so he picked them up in that church van that had bad tires.
Yes, sir.
And drove 85 miles an hour and blew a tire and rolled it and killed all three of them. Killed Terry and Jan and the social. They're dangerous. And that's what I told my kids. I said, my pastor's not going to die in a car wreck because it has a bad tire or kill somebody. What if they kill some mom and some kids coming home from work, because they have a blowout? I said, we're going to buy them tires tonight. And I said, my granddad owns a gas station in Odessa 20 miles away. I said, he can order tires for cost. No problem. And I said, I'll go put them on myself. I'll provide the free labor. So we're going to buy 5 tires, not 4 or 5, 5 tires. And so we did. We took up an offering, and I ordered them for cost, and I put them on myself, and did it. Because I said, I'm not going to have my pastor. Does that make sense to you? I'm partners with my pastor. I'm partners in that church. See, we have partnership. And partnership is a two-way street. One day when I was 15 years old, I was driving down the road with my mom. In the car she's driving, I'm sitting on the passenger seat. And she goes off down the street that I'd never been on. And she turned, went down this street. I'm sitting there and she's driving. And we look up ahead and there's a church up here on the right left-hand side. And as we got closer, we saw a man outside with a shovel planting bushes. And my mom said to me just casually, she said, oh, that's Brother McNerlin. That's the pastor. I met him at a luncheon one day. And I said, what? I said, that's the pastor. And she said, yeah. And I said, stop the car. Stop the car. She said, well, what's the matter with you? And I said, no, stop the car. And I got out and said, I'll get a ride home. I'll be home later. So she went off and left me. I walked up to the gentleman, and it's Saturday. And he's out there playing bushes. And I walked up to him, and he saw me coming, so he stopped and leaned on his shoulder. And I got up close to him, and he said, hello, young man, what can I do for you? And I said, well, sir, I said, my mom just drove me by here and said, you're the pastor, you're Brother McNerlin. She had met you at a luncheon. He said, yeah, I am, I'm brother. And I said, well, I'm Terry Mize. We shook hands. And I said, what are you doing? He thought that was a dumb question. And he said, well, I'm planting bushes. I said, but why? He said, well, because I want the church. I said, no. I don't know why you're planting them. Why are you planting them?
That's good.
He said, what? I said, it's Saturday. You're the pastor. You're the shepherd. You're supposed to be home, studying the Word, praying, so tomorrow you can lead your sheep into cool water and green grass.
Yes, sir.
And you're out here planting bushes. Where are your people? He said, well, I don't know, son. It's all right. I said, no, it's not all right. It's not all right. I'm 15 years old. This isn't my church. I don't know this guy.
That's good.
And I said, Pastor, you tell me where you want these things planted, and I'll plant them. And I'll do a good job, because I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for God. And you go home and get in the Word and help your people. And he immediately thought I wanted money. So he said, oh, son, I couldn't pay you. So I said, I'd be offended if you tried to pay me. And I said, I'm doing this for God. And you need to be home so your people can get blessed and you can minister to them. And you tell me how you want this done, and I'll do a first-rate, first-class job. Because I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for God. So he trusted me. He told me what he wanted done. He left. Man, I did a good job. Not my church, but I honor the office. Man, I'm about God. I'm partnered with God. Right? I don't get anything out of this, but I'm partnered with him. And so I did a good job. And I mean, for years I drove by that church. Checked on my bushes. How dare somebody be messing with my bushes? See, it gave me that ownership.
It's very good.
And that church sold another church, they sold another, and I drive by there every time I'm back in Midland, Texas. In fact, I told her the other day, I said, next time if we ever go to Midland, Texas, I said, I'm taking you to show you the church I built. And I'm going to show you my bushes and build a church. But I built that church, and I planted those bushes. I've got blood, sweat, and tears involved in there. I'm partners with it. I'm partners. Is that